I'm going to start with my turkey. I have a Butterball turkey that is 12.5 pounds. That calls for 3 to 3.5 hours of roasting at 325. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to wash it under cold running water, clean it off. There will be packages inside of the turkey. I'm going to take those out. I will use those. It has the liver, the neck, the giblets, a few things inside. That will go towards making my gravy and my cornbread dressing. The first thing that I need to do is get it over to the sink, clean it up, and then I will show what I do to my turkey before I put it in the roaster. I'm going to show the turkey because I've not done a turkey on video yet. The other things that I'm cooking today, like the mac and cheese, the collards, let's see what else, green beans, the things that I've already made a video for, and the pecan pie, I'm not going to show those in the making on this video because I've already got videos done. I will put a link to those videos down in the description. Now, I'll warn you, they're hideous videos. They were done, most of them last year, except for the collards I recently did. And I did the other videos last year when I first started out with the YouTube channel, and they're pretty hideous. But the recipe is the same. The result will be the same. It's still a delicious recipe no matter how bad my video is. But the things that I have not done a video on, if I can, like the turkey, I'm going to go ahead and explain how I do my turkeys and a few other things, which maybe the cornbread dressing and the candied yams and maybe the potato salad. It's just going to depend on the time that I've got. So I'm going to get this over to the sink and get it rinsed off really good. That reminds me, let me tell you a little story. Years and years ago, this is about washing turkey. My sister, who is 4 years younger than me, when she started out, now this was a very long time ago, and she was in her late teens, and she was not into cooking, but she wanted to do a turkey. So she called my mom, wanted to know, Mom, how do I do a turkey? What do you do? Tell me how to do a turkey. And my mother explained to her, the first thing you need to do is you need to take it to the sink and wash it. And then she gave her further instructions of how to season it and all of that. They got off the phone. A little while later, Mama said, Teresa, that's my sister's name. God bless her little heart. She calls Mama up and she says, Mama, how do I get these soap suds off of my turkey? The more I wash, the bigger the bubbles get. And my mama was like, soap suds? What in the world did you wash that turkey with? And her reply was, Dawn dish detergent. Of course, Mama didn't mean to wash that turkey with soap. When she said wash it, she meant get it under some running water and clear off the oils or any, leftover feathers or whatever, just plain water. But she didn't speak the words plain water, and my sister believed her to mean wash it and wash it good, so she used Dawn dish detergent, and it was a disaster because she had soap all in the cavities. She had soap everywhere, and it was a lesson learned. So when I say wash your turkey first, just plain water. That's all you need is a good rinse. Run your hands over it. Clean anything off that you don't want to be eating. But don't use soap. If you ever see somebody say wash your turkey first, it does not mean with soap. We've all made dumb mistakes. I have made a lot of dumb mistakes. And the biggest mistakes made are very often with a turkey. I have forgotten to take the bags out of the inside. I have overcooked them. I've undercooked them throughout the years. There's room for a lot of mistakes, and it happens. It happens when you learn. It's the only way to learn to do different is by making those mistakes. She still deals with that mistake in the family. I have some mistakes that my family don't let go of as well in the cooking department, and I've heard about some of them, and I'll share them. I've heard for over 50 years some of my cooking mistakes. So I'm going to get this over to the sink and get it washed, and I'll be right back. All right, I've got my turkey washed in just water. This is a method my mother did all of her adult life. I don't know where she got it from, and I have done it all of my adult life because she beat it in my head that this is how you have to do a turkey, and it does work great. I slather this whole turkey with mayonnaise. I use Duke's and nothing but Duke's. Mayonnaise is a natural browning agent, and it's a tenderizer as well. And I just slather the whole thing with mayonnaise. I get in there with my hands, and it is a nasty job, but like they say, somebody has to do it. So I'm going to get it all up in the cavity on the inside, and then when you flip it over, there's another cavity. I'm going to get it all up under the wings and the legs in every nook and cranny. And then I'm going to use salt and pepper, and I'm also going to use poultry seasoning. I make my own poultry seasoning. If it was store-bought, I would be very, very liberal with the poultry seasoning because that stuff is dead on arrival, and it takes a lot anyways to get any flavor out of it. The homemade from natural ingredients, fresh ingredients, is a lot more strong and potent. So I'm kind of stingy with the poultry seasoning because you can overdo poultry seasoning, and that makes a real bitter taste. So now I want to go over the fact that I got all of the pieces and parts. There's heart, liver, giblets, and a turkey neck that came out of the turkey. I'm going to put this on the stove and boil it in some chicken broth. These will be cut up, all the meat taken from all of this, and will be added into the turkey gravy and the cornbread dressing. And I'm just going to boil this for however long it takes until it's easy to dismantle it with a fork and make it nice and tender. I'm going to put this on the stove. I will start boiling that after I get this turkey ready, put into the roaster. I've got my roaster down at the other end of the counter, and that's where it's going to go. So I'm just going to use mayonnaise all over this bird. I'm also going to put a little tiny bit of paprika on this bird, and this is homegrown, and it's mildly spicy. It's not hot, but there is just a little pizzazz. Just for a tiny bit of spice. Flip them over one more time. If you have never heard of using mayonnaise to baste a turkey and you think that sounds gross, I promise it is gross in theory, but not in flavor. It adds great rich flavor to the turkey. You're not going to taste mayonnaise. What you're going to taste is just a well-seasoned turkey. You're not going to see the mayonnaise. You're not going to taste the mayonnaise. But what you will notice is how beautiful golden that it will cook that turkey. It's just such a natural tenderizer. And it really is a great browning agent. And it will just be a beautiful turkey. That's all I can say. Is I promise no mayonnaise taste, good rich taste, good browning, golden, delicious bird. That's all I can say. And I've had my roasting pan heating up at 325 while I've been doing this. Now, I did add about an inch of chicken broth, poultry broth in the bottom of the pan, because I want to keep those juices. I want this thing to stay juicy, and I don't want it to scorch on the bottom of, well, it's not on the bottom of the pan. I've got a rack in the roaster, but sometimes, you know, pieces will fall down between the rack, and if that pan is dry for any amount of time before it starts making its own juices, it will scorch the tips of whatever you're cooking. And the name of the game is to get a lot of juices out of this turkey, and the juices that drop from this turkey are going to blend in with the chicken broth, and then I'm ultimately going to be adding more chicken broth to make my gravy and to make my cornbread dressing. So just for a kickstart, I've got about an inch of chicken broth in the bottom of that pan. Now, the one thing that I want to do, try to do, before I put it in the roaster is I want to put the bird back together. Most of the time, did that wrong? Let's see. Most of the time, your bird will come packaged with it wrapped into the skin at the bottom of the turkey, and that works great holding that bird together while it cooks. I am going to put this in the pan in this direction. That's pretty much all I've got to do right now for the turkey only. And my turkey is done, and it's golden brown. It's beautiful. It's almost ready to eat. But we won't. Not till tomorrow.